Oh, what's up, guys? Gun here. Happy Wednesday, August 19th, 2020. Hope you guys had a successful, profitable Tuesday. If you didn't, there's another day. Another 4-game slate, a bunch of game twos on the docket. Can teams start getting momentums and start going up 2-0? We're going to find out as we repeat our slate from Monday. And that's going to create an opportunity as DFS players to either chase points, maybe go back and see where we were at Monday morning on plays we liked, why we liked them, kind of figure out why they didn't work out. Were we unlucky? Would it be a good thing to go back to those plays and maybe, assume a lot of the field's going to point chase and then cash in on those plays today? I kind of call that the slot machine effect, right? You play somebody, for instance, how about Brook Lopez? Yesterday, Brook Lopez, he played the minutes I was looking for. He took enough shot volume to suggest that were he to hit some of those shots, more of those shots, he didn't hit many, that he would get more opportunities. So maybe against my better judgment, you could probably find me playing Brook Lopez again tomorrow. But it's stuff like that. Plays that maybe didn't work out because of bad luck, guys having poor shooting nights, foul trouble, stuff like that. So today I think we're going to see a lot of interesting ownerships in the field. Guys like Donovan Mitchell are in extreme chase spots, but he still makes sense nonetheless. But it just seems like it would be hashtag DFS for the field to go after Mitchell today. And maybe this is the spot where Karis LeVert pops off, where the other day everyone was on LeVert and Mitchell pops off. You know what I'm saying? So we just kind of have to have that type of game theory and that type of logic in our heads. And don't forget how important leverage can be in tournaments. I am going to give you 5 players at each position on FanDuel that I will probably have quite a bit of. And you know me, I try to be pretty creative. I don't like to give you the top guys if I can help it, but I'm going to let you know I have to give you Joel Embiid because centers that poor. Hey, if you're new to the channel, help me out. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe. If you like DFS content, we offer live streams. I'm offering NBA videos, a frequent MLB content, and NFL is so close. I'm going to have a lot of content for NFL. So if you're into DFS content, you think you like what you hear, you want to give some more content a shot, subscribe to the channel, hit that notifications bell, and you'll get a push notification anytime we drop new videos. Let's just jump right into it, right? Let's open up FanDuel and let's get cranked up. Play number 1 in the core 5 from my first look. Again, these first 4 names I'm going to give you are names that I want to be, I'm not going to say contrarian, but who am I to come out here and tell you to play Luka Doncic or Kawhi Leonard or Paul George? You know what I'm saying? In these videos, I kind of like to give you some penny pinchers, guys that I like a lot, and these guys end up being my highest owned players because they're my stock and stuff for value plays. The what I believe higher floor for their price point with a little bit of ceiling on them. So let's get started. Play number 1, Monte Morris. We need a little salary relief. How about $3,900 for Monte Morris? It would assume, or I would assume, it would appear that without Gary Harris again, without Will Barton again, Monte Morris is the first guard off the bench. Has shown us 29 minutes in his last 2 games. That last game, of course, that playoff game with Utah, got an extra inning out of it. But at 3,900, could I still kind of rely on 22 minutes? I like the fact that he is the first guard off the bench. Should there be some foul trouble, like Torrey Craig getting in foul trouble, maybe Jamal Murray, something like that. And he has shown a propensity to score. Look at double-digit real points in all but one of his last, 10-ish games. A couple of peripherals here and there. I think meaningful minutes are still there for his at 3,900. I'd love a shot at 20 fantasy points, and he's shown us a little bit of upside, getting to that 30 fantasy point threshold a few times. So I think I'm going to have a decent chunk of Monte Morris today. The guard area, the value guard area, gets kind of shallow and kind of ugly really, really quick. So unless some more news comes out later, I think that's where I'm going to land. Obviously, you can still make a case for like Emmanuel Mudiay. Mike Conley's going to miss another game, but he only got 9 minutes against Denver. That's really the Jordan Clarkson spot. So I think Monte Morris has the most minutes baked in there with a little bit of confidence that he won't completely waste them. I think generally a lot of lineups for me will feature either Murray, Kemba, or Lowry. But if I'm pinching some pennies, Monte Morris makes the core plays options for value. Now, let's keep getting creative, right? This is an easy category. I can give you Donovan Mitchell. I can give you Karis LeVert. I can give you Luka Doncic, Paul George. This is a very stacked category. Heck, even Marcus Smart for the Celtics, who are without Gordon Hayward. Marcus Smart likely draws a start, plays 35 minutes. All these guys are great options for you guys to consider. You don't need me to put you on them. But how about we talk about somebody that you might not be thinking about? How about we go to the Brooklyn Nets? We look at Timothy Luwawu-Cabarrot, 4,400. You might remember him from the 76ers a few years back. The minutes have been there for him in the last couple games. Now, Brooklyn and Toronto. Do I already have this one up? I do. I'll pull up Brooklyn and Toronto, but I also pull up Brooklyn and the Portland Trailblazers. These seem like reasonable expectation minutes for Luwawu, right? You open up his game log, you see 33, 31, 27, the 16, and the 24. What's behind that? It almost doesn't matter because he still got 32 fantasy points against the Clippers. Against the Magic. But if you look at the two games that mean the most to me right now to project minutes, it's the Blazers and the last game. So the Blazers was essentially their dress rehearsal for the playoffs. That was the play-in, not so much the play-in, but that was the must-win game for the Blazers. Well, Timothy Luwawu got run in the first quarter, played half the second quarter, got meaningful minutes in the second half. It seems like Luwawu is a fixture in their rotation. I mean, this is a Nets lineup that came into the bubble missing a lot of pieces that they started the year with and maybe hope to have here. I like Luwawu's minute count. I like his price here at 4,400. I do think there is a strong shot at 25 to 35 fantasy points, and we've seen that kind of window when he gets 24 plus minutes. So Luwawu at 4,400, I'm putting him in my back pocket here. Again, this is another position that we're going to see a lot of Lukas and Paul Georges and LeVerts, Mitchells. I'm with all that. But the point of this video isn't really to tell you what you already know, right? I kind of want to put you guys on a couple of sneaky value plays for tournaments because I just don't want to be so cheesy and sell out, right? It's easy to get clicks that way, but let's get a little creative. Speaking of getting creative, this one may be a lot less creative, but Joe Ingles, I think, has a really low price tag on FanDuel at the small forward position, and the minutes were his to lose. 43 minutes against Denver. Without Mike Conley, he's still a guy that can do some of the primary ball handling to reprieve a Mitchell or a Clarkson or something like that. Him and Rudy Gobert have worked really well, with pick and rolls. I wouldn't expect a whole lot of rebounds normally, right? You got 5 rebounds, but that was in 43 minutes. But I do think the assist isn't out of this world at 6 to 6 plus. So if you can get 15 plus real points, 5 plus assists, a couple of rebounds and peripherals at 5,500, I'm looking for 30 fantasy points. I think what's most intriguing to me is the minute projection for him is going to be really, really, really close to like 38. So I'll take a gamble on minutes for Joe Ingles here. I'll put him in the mix. I also really like Joe Harris at that almost the exact same price. It's a coin flip. I was going back and forth. I love the responsibility that Joe Harris has as the number 2 scorer behind Karis LeVert here. I talked about my disinterest in a guy like Jared Allen against the Raptors. Raptors are one of the toughest teams to scoring in the paint. Now, Allen did have kind of like a poor man's double-double against the Raptors, so it wasn't that asinine to assume that maybe he could muscle enough points, but it's still a really tough matchup, and I think a guy like Joe Harris has to go out there and pick up some of the slack. 33 minutes of a lopsided game, he still got you to almost 30 fantasy points. He essentially got you right about where Joe Ingles did, and Joe Ingles needed 7 more minutes, so I could completely understand you saying, nah, I'd rather play Joe Harris than Ingles. But I like Ingles. The minutes are there for him, and it feels like, unless he's in foul trouble, I like the opportunity to equate minutes into money. And again, this is a stacked small forward position. Siakam's going to play a lot of minutes. Tobias Harris a lot of minutes. Kawhi Leonard is a stud. Gordon Hayward's out. Jaylen Brown is expected to play. He's at 7K. He's another guy that played 40 minutes, essentially 38 minutes against Philly. So these are all guys that are going to be front end options. You don't need me to tell you that, right? So I'm not. Small forward spot. Again, Porzingis at the top. Porzingis has a Q tag on him. He's dealing with general knee soreness. He got ejected that last game. I loved him the last game. I still think he would have been a fine play point per minute wise, right? 19 minutes, 26 FanDuel points. If he's back and ready to go, I'm going to play him. I'm going to chase those points. Jason Tatum had a huge game. Playoff Tatum, 40-plus minutes for the young gun. I'm going to go back to him a lot today. And no Gordon Hayward is only a plus for him and his potential. But for now, mid-stakes, right? Mid-salary. Let's look at Serge Ibaka. One of my favorite matchups for centers in basketball is the Brooklyn Nets. They give up amongst the most fantasy points per game in the league. And in the bubble, they're by far and away the best matchup for opposing centers. And you're seeing that with Ibaka's game log. Ibaka, 25 minutes against Brooklyn, 22 real points, 7 boards. And I also like him just against like undersized teams, some teams that will pick up the pace. Now, I don't necessarily think the Nets are a team that we look at to be super fast-paced, but when they start playing from behind, Karis LeVert has to push the pace and just try to find spot-up shots for like a Joe Harris and stuff like that. And I think that's plays right into Ibaka's wheelhouse, and he can spell a guy like Marc Gasol. I don't expect him to get way more than 25 minutes, if that, but it does seem like we could look his way at 5,800 to potentially get us a shot at 30 fantasy points in tournaments, and certainly a guy that can go out there and get blocks, and those are even more valuable over on FanDuel. And then, like I said at the top of the video, man, I hate to be cheesy, but center, I tried to look down at the bottom of the center to find you something. Marc Gasol at 4,500 for that same Serge Ibaka matchup. Interesting, right? Can I get 25 minutes out of him? Seems like maybe they're saving him for really, really important games. So I'm staying away from that. If for some reason Kristaps Porzingis and that knee soreness flared up and Porzingis didn't play, would Boban Marjanovic get a shot at 3,700? Sure, but can I really put that in a video from where we stand now? Probably not. So yeah, I'm just going to play it safe here. And I'm going to give you Joel Embiid or Jokic. The other day I ran 150 lineups on FanDuel. I had 50% Jokic, 50% Joel Embiid. There's a very good chance that's what I do again today. So I try to be really honest and transparent here. So I'm going to click Embiid for now. They're both the same exact price. Jokic, it's worth noting, really, I don't want to say needed, but overtime helped him get to 50. Joel Embiid without Ben Simmons in a matchup that maybe gets smaller without Gordon Hayward. His usage is there. He's just an animal. He's a beast. He got 50 fantasy points in 37 minutes. So I'll probably lean Embiid if I had to pick one for like a single entry. But nonetheless, I don't think you can really go wrong either way with Jokic and Embiid. I think they'll both be combined probably 70% owned, if not more. And at that point, if you got them a similar range of outcomes like I do in my builds, whether it's 10, 20, 30 lineups, I'm going to go straight down the middle, 50-50. The Nuggets and the Jazz have gone to back-to-back overtime games. You feel like that's not going to happen 3 times in a row. We'll see. So give me Joel Embiid here. This is my core 5 for now. Again, give me some slack with these first 4. The idea for them is to just kind of give you some value guys to fish around with to kind of tie those big guys together. But Monte Morris, Timothy Luwawu, Joe Ingles, Serge Ibaka, and Joel Embiid. That's your FanDuel Core 5. Hey, look out for more videos on this channel. I'm going to do a full slate breakdown for this NBA slate with my buddies. If you guys got anything else for me, twitter.com/GunDeckerSports. I will be chopping up the slate 2 hours before lock in the RunDFS.com premium Discord channel in the voice chat. If you guys want in on that, go to RunDFS.com, make yourself an account. Try a week pass, $25. It's less than $5 a day. Would love to have you in there. Make a new friend in the DFS community, and then maybe we can show you a couple things, and maybe you can show us a couple things. I hope you guys crush it. I love you guys. Good luck. God bless. Go win some money.